Hey everyone, my name's Elise, welcome back to another video. Today we have another episode of Dono review. So today we're playing good old Paleo Frog. We got donated for this by someone who was actually trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is just one of the decks he remembers, so he wanted to see it. I don't think he was here in chat today, but he'll at least get this video and get to see the VOD. So yeah, he didn't have any like deck list to start with, so I'm not going to show anything like that, but I took a really standardized approach to this deck, most likely. I had a little bit of help from Justin Singh, just because I didn't really know where to exactly to start. I kind of knew where, but like just ratios and like what's better to play in for the most part is what I was like struggling with a bit, just because like there's so many options for this deck because fucking Trap Trick exists. Like this card is just like insane for the deck, and like it just makes it so there's so many more open options that it's hard to decide on. But I kind of went with it's a little bit similar to how I played the Eldlik Striker deck the other day, just because I played no hand traps in the main again, and I think it was the correct way to go about it. But I don't know. I think the deck ended up okay. I went 3-2 tonight, and literally like my two losses were because I played against the mirror match, and then he sided in reboot to somehow be able to push for game in the weirdest fucking situation on the planet. And then my final round I played against Musket, and then he rebooted me games 2 and 3 to kill me. Like apparently everyone just has to will reboot, but like it's fine. Trap decks suck. I probably deserved it. But anyways, let's just get into the deck profile. So it's 3 Swap, 3 Dupe Frog, and 2 Ronin. Also, I literally lost a match today as well because I banished all my Swap Frogs off of the next card I'm about to show, Desires, in one of the games. And if I had Swap, I probably would have been able to play it, but it's fine. But yeah, I think this ratio is fine. I don't think you need 3 Ronin for anything. I think that's too much. And then the only spell card in my deck is 3 Desires. A lot of people were questioning why I wouldn't play Prosperity in a deck like this, that doesn't need, like, to fully utilize the extra deck as much. So the reason why I'd want to play a card like this, I'd even rather play Extravagance than Prosperity, but the reason why, especially for this card in this specific deck, is this is a deck where you don't have that many power cards. You maybe have, like, the only card you always want to see is Swap Frog, but then you're sacrificing overall, like, card economy and just having as many cards as possible, which this deck thrives on more than having one specific blowout card. You don't have general blowout cards because the rest of your deck is trap cards, so they're not as high impact as something you normally try and get off Prosperity, so it's just not as smart to play in a deck like this. But I think Desires is still really good for the deck because there's still a lot of extra options that like have a lot of utility factor, so I don't really want to banish them if I don't have to. And because we're playing like a lot of lower impact cards, it usually doesn't matter what we banish until we banish 3 of any of these, but like you know, it's not likely in normal, but I think this card's overall the best choice you can make for this deck. Like, seeing Swap is the only argument I could say for Prosperity, but I think overall Desires is just better for the deck. And then for the trap cards, for just the Paleos, 3 Dynamiscus, 3 Canadia, 3 Olenoids, and 1 Leoncholia. None of the others just seemed relevant enough. Even 3 Olenoids was like pushing it almost, but I feel like you just need 3 because if you play against other like grind decks, and even against like a bunch of the bigger decks, like sometimes the well-timed Olenoids is just amazing, and it just gives you more Paleo names. So I think this number is fine, and especially with like the Desires, Leoncholia is actually like good, so I think that's fine. So that's it for the Paleos, and then for the other trap cards, we got the 3 Trap Trick, and then the targets for it, which are IDP or Ice Dragon Prison, Lost Wind, and Torrential. So there were a few other cards I was considering for these slots, but I ended up on these because, like, I think this card is just so high impact against a lot of decks right now. That's just very good. Torrential's also one of those cards. And then Lost Wind, the recursion factor of it paired with Paleos, I think is really good to where I think this just becomes, like, a good trap card to have almost all the time. The other options were, like, Compulse, Dogmatic of Punishment, but these just felt like they're going to be better in the long run, so this is what I ended up with. IDP was insane as always, but, you know, it'd be like that. And then for other random trap cards, you got 3 Judgment and 3 Strike. You have the room, I think you should just play them. I think they're correct. honestly. Then last card, which is my 40th card, I played 1 Imperial Order. I felt like main deck, it would actually be fine if I play against enough meta or against random other stuff. The main deck, it would be fine. I think I did win a few games, or at least like 2 games because of it. So I think this card was like actually correct, and we will take that. And then for the extra deck, we got 3 Toads, Opabinia, Nola Macaris, Sky Cavalry, Downard, and Zeus for all the XYZs. None of the others just seemed as high impact. I'd rather just run more links, so that's what I ended up doing. And yeah, I never needed like 2 I actually like never summoned Opabinia today, but I think it's a card you still need to have around. But yeah, all these cards are fine. There's no others that really would have wanted instead, so that is perfectly okay. And then we got the Mistar Boy, Coral Anemone, IP, Phoenix, Unicorn, Boral Sword, and Avermax. So the idea is like IP is just really nice for like, you know, plays on later turn, or like later on when like you can't really Toad or Toad isn't that good, because you can always go like IP into Avermax, which is kind of sauce, and then like even going into a Nightmare is fine. Also, like, one really good card in this deck is Coral Anemone. I'm pretty sure everyone should already know about this by now if you play Paleo, but like this card literally just like basically gives you a Toad for free. So I think this card's kind of nice. Yeah, otherwise I think the rest of this is normal. There's nothing else I would have really liked more. And Boral Sword is actually like the better choice than Access Code, just because like you don't link an insane amount, so sometimes you just like only have like 1 or 2 things, so it's fine. And then Mistar Boy damage is nice. And for the side deck, which is I think the most probably weird thing that could potentially exist, but I don't know. 3 Ash and 1 Pink. I decided on Ash again for the same reasoning as before. I just felt like if I'm gonna side a hand trap, there was no other major trap cards I really wanted to play, so I felt like having at least one little hand trap, especially since like I think this deck isn't as strong as like Eldlik or the Striker engines for like what they can like put pressure on for this format. I felt like I wanted a little bit of hand trap presence, so I did this. I have one other hand trap in my side deck that's a trap card. You can guess what it is. And then just Pink, I think, is just overall a good, really good card right now. You should play it if you can. And for the only spell, Duster, I know we're playing a grindy deck, but like being able to blow them out and then control the game from there, I think is really important. So I think this Duster is fine. Plus, like, a lot of your traps really interact well with like Eldlik, and that's the most relevant back row deck. So I think just being able to blow out the back row decks is really important. So I think you should play the one Duster if you have the space for it. And then for the trap cards, 3 Anti-Spell, 3 Evenly, 2 Storm Duster, and 2 Imperm. So I wanted a little bit more hand trap presence, and Imperm is a no-brainer. And just, like, the 2 is just because you play Trap Trick, so, like, you can see them often realistically, and I think this is all that was needed. And yeah, Duster is insane. Yeah, especially for this deck. Evenly, because we're playing another slow deck, and, like, going second with the slow deck, we can just clear their board and then just like destroy them from there. And Anti-Spell just felt really nice because, you know, you're playing a trap deck that doesn't care. I think Anti-Spell is really good right now if you have the room to play it. In just any deck you play, if it doesn't rely too much on spells, I think this card just has like a really nice like way to just slow down your opponent, and like you can just control them with Olenoids and Duster. Like, that's just kind of nice. It definitely, you know, won a few games for free because of the anti-spells. So yeah, guys, that is it for this deck profile though. So the Paleo worked okay. So I mean, at the end of the day, like, I didn't play against anything too meta because my other wins were Madolche, Eldlik Invoked, and then I don't remember what the last one was because I don't know how to think. Oh, Dragon Maid. So like, this deck was still really catered to beat meta, and like I think I could have done an okay job at it, but we never get to know. And yeah, apparently Reboot's a hell of a card to play against this deck, so that's how it be. But anyways, yeah, the deck's okay, but at the end of the day, it's still like a rogue trap deck, and I think that's the thing you gotta think about at the end of the day. But overall, it's not a bad deck, and it's another option to exist. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, all that stuff. And if you really, really, really enjoyed it, you could watch us do this live on Twitch. The link will be down below in the description. I'd really appreciate it if you guys check it out. I really enjoy the Twitch. I have a lot of fun, and I'd appreciate if everyone joined in on the fun, you know? And as always, shout out to the sponsors, Midwest Gaming, TGG Gaming, and YGO Daily. Use code MWG5 for 5% off on YGO Daily. And then if you go to tgggamingmn.com, you can use code Elysium10 for 10% off the entire store. And, or your entire order, rather. But then make sure you guys use my TCG player affiliate link, which is also down below in the description. If you're going to be buying on TCG, it would help me out a lot because, you know, I just get a little kickback, and it costs you nothing extra if you guys use it. So really appreciate if you use that. And then also make sure you guys check out the Discord server in the description as well, along with all my other social medias. Trying to grow that Discord server a lot, and really appreciate if you guys all came and hung out. Speaking is very difficult. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!